Ryan, can we please have a one-word prompt?
Yes. Sparkler.
Sparkler. Oh, okay.
Sparkler. All right, here we go. 3, 2.
Sparkler. That was always the go-to like kid firework. Fireworks being illegal in Illinois. Every year, the summer trip to my family's cabin, we just stock up on all the fireworks because that's all that exists off the highway in Wisconsin. Apparently, is just like fireworks stores and like porn shops or whatever. And then so we would just go ape shit when we got to the cabin finally.
Wow. I wonder how you can combine those two, but we'll get that in 1 second. Hey, welcome to the Overtalking Podcast with your hosts, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Hi, CJ.
This is the show where we talk over TV shows and movies as chosen by our guests, and this week we watched 1917.
World War One.
World War One. Pew, pew, pew. I don't know. I like sparklers still, though. I think maybe just because they're so easily available.
The 5 seconds of excitement.
And I don't have to worry about the cops coming to get me when I let them off.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
I was at a friend's wedding where they had planned a photo. Like after the ceremony, the party was already like halfway through. And then we're like, okay, everybody is going to go outside now. And this was like in the winter, so it sucked. And we stood in two lines like in front of the entrance of the building. And then they handed out sparklers. And the point was to like light them all and have the couple like walk through the line of people, which would create a fantastic photo, except for the fact that sparklers last for like 5 seconds. So the coordination of everybody scrambling to try to like light them at once was like, this, mine's out already. They're not even here. Like we planned this poorly. Yeah. Easier said than done, I think. I like the idea, but
that's dumb.
Yeah, poorly executed.
So CJ, you and I both have weddings coming up, and I don't know. To me, the whole picture taking thing, I'm worried that it's going to like take away from the rest of the night. Because I've been to so many weddings where the photographer is like, oh, we got to get this photo and you got to get that photo. And it's like, it's great, capturing the moment, but why don't you just capture the moment, not create some moment just for the picture? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree we like had like a Zoom with our photographer. And I said more or less exactly that of like, I'm not really big on like, I want a couple posed pictures, but then like just take pictures of my friends and family like enjoying themselves. Like I want those natural like, oh look, somebody said something funny over there. They're having a good time.
Yeah.
And hey, speaking of funny, our guest this week,
transition.
It's Chicago comedy icon, Ryan Hultman.
Hi, all.
Welcome back.
Hi, Ryan.
Oh, thanks for having me. Oh my God, where's my sparkler farewell? My sparkler send off.
Oh, you're leaving already? Oh, okay. That was
no. I know. I'm like, I do a little bit. You guys were talking about that, and I served weddings. That was one of my summer gigs.
Oh,
and we would do like the sparkler send off, but. If you both do those for your weddings, you should get, like, they have long sparklers. Like
that's true, yeah.
They are, like, really long. And,
that's smart.
Yeah, they last a little longer. But it's, like,
10 seconds.
It's 10 seconds. Yeah. If the short ones last 5, these last 10. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
Twice as long. Get excited.
It's like forever.
I know. Also, like, the sparkler, or the firework porn shop, like it could be I don't know, I don't want to say a sustainable business model, but at least the tagline that you could have is like, fireworks aren't the only thing exploding in here. Like, get on in.
Yes.
Yeah. They're both 18 plus. You have to be an adult.
That's right. It's the same audience, basically.
Yeah.
It's true. It's like a Venn diagram.
Yeah. Perfect. There's countless, I know, like firework shops in Wisconsin, like as soon as you get over the border, there's one there. So like they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Are fireworks still illegal in Illinois?
I think so.
Is that
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Even though, like you hear 4th of July is like a week straight of fireworks every night.
Right. Yeah, I wonder how well it's actually enforced. Probably
yeah.
not at all, but
I'm like, they're still illegal. Oh.
Whoops.
I'll be back, guys.
Well, speaking of explosions and things like that,
Segway.
It really reminds me a lot of our movie this week. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to talk about 1917 and more coming up on the Overtalking Podcast.
Woo. They're walking into a trap. Your orders are to deliver a message, calling off tomorrow morning's attack.
We've got orders to cross here.
That is the German front line.
If we're not clever about this, no one will get to your brother.
I will.
And we're back on the Overtalking Podcast, joined once again by returning guest Ryan Hultman, and we're talking about 1917. Ryan, we are going to put 30 seconds on the clock for you to describe for someone who's never heard or seen the movie 1917 what it's all about.
Ready, go.
Let's go. It's April 9th or 6th, 1917, World War I. We're in France. On the British lines, two boys are given a mission by Colin Firth to go on a crazy expedition to relay a message to this other battalion so that a lot of people don't die, and they need to do it in one day.
5, 4, 3,
and it's very fun, and it's a lighthearted comedy.
1. It's what? And hilarity
I did
ensues.
watch the wrong thing.
Hilarity ensues, and sound effects. Boing. We should also put spoiler alert. We're going to be spoiling this movie, so if anybody hasn't seen it, I highly recommend watching before you listen on.
Yeah, this was my first viewing of it. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, there's not a ton of twists or things to spoil other than just like plot beats, but yeah we're going to get into all of it. So, but yeah, definitely the first time watching for me too, and it was an experience. For sure.
This is a certified film, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't a movie.
That is true.
This is cinema.
This is not just a movie. Yes. So, Ryan, first question. Why did you choose this movie?
I thought that and now listeners don't know this. They're listening later, maybe in this week or next, but it's movie's biggest night. We're recording on the eve of the 90-something Oscars. And I thought, 2023, I thought we might as well have a prestige film, former Academy Award winning film, 1917. Also, I love this movie. I love it. This was my third time seeing it. And every single time, I love how intense it is. I just think like it's the best. It's such efficient storytelling, very effective storytelling. And it's like everything is purposeful in this movie. Everything comes back around, and it's the best. I'm obsessed. Sam Mendes, I'll kiss your feet. I'll kiss your feet. But I thought it's so good. That's why I chose it. I figured I'd subjected you both to movies of my youth and masterpieces of my youth, and now I thought I'd subject you both to a masterpiece of my young adulthood.
Yeah, masterpieces, huh? Okay, we're going with that word for the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. No dissent, right?
No comment either. So one thing we haven't talked about this movie yet is the way it's presented. Which is probably the biggest selling point for me. Where it is presented as one continuous shot, except for a break where there's a bit of a time jump where we'll get to maybe that in a little bit. But yeah, it's presented as one continuous in real time shot of this British Army soldier trying to deliver a message across no man's land. And it's awesome. I love movies that do this because the cinematic, the way they have to move the camera to get it that way and look great throughout the entire movie is just mind-boggling and an achievement in and of its own right. So very, very cool to watch.
Just the fact that they pulled it off like that is like, my brain is like, the logistics of that alone is like so impressive with those set pieces in like mud and shit. And
I couldn't understand how they were moving the camera half the time. Sometimes it's clearly like, maybe on a dolly behind it, but then they're like crawling through water and I'm like, how the hell are they getting this camera in there too. Like there's no transition, like clear transition. So I don't know. It's wild. It's so good.
Roger Deakins, cinematographer of this film,
Shout
he
out.
served it up. He served it up.
Yeah.
He really did.
Incredible.
It's literally like, how did they do that? And I watched a behind the scenes thing. It actually, and you both might be surprised, it was all one shot. The whole thing. It was one.
No, it's not.
Steve and I are just shaking our heads, not buying it.
No.
They just did it all in one day. It's unreal.
Yeah.
If they did, then like everyone involved should immediately win the Oscar for every category
Right.
ever.
It's like
Can you
have you ever
imagine
seen a
the
movie
coordination for like every actor? There's so many people in this movie. That would have been wild.
literally, it's like, have you ever seen a movie that's a literal Rube Goldberg machine?
My mind immediately was like, when does George McKay get to go to the bathroom? This dude's in every scene. What happens if he got to pee?
Oh my god, I never even thought about that. I never did.
I mean,
he doesn't.
I was shitting myself through half this movie, so I'm sure he was too. But
Oh my god. Yeah, it's crazy. I think now these two boys on their journey across no man's land through the German trenches and then and beyond, I'd be dead in no man's land. I'd be dead there. I know no one's shooting at me, but you cut your hand, stick it into a corpse. I think that's it. I think that's it for me.
one of the first things that happens.
Yeah, and the first
I thought for sure, like, oh, this dude's done already. Okay.
Yeah. They're like 5 minutes in. They're like, all right, here we go. Oh, God, I cut my hand and now it's infected.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Where like back then that could kill you, I think. Like just one infection probably killed many people.
Yeah.
Literally, I tap out at like in no man's land. For you both, where do you tap out? Like in that journey, where's the this is too much.
I mean,
if you're on the journey,
I probably tap out before this, but the most like visceral reaction I had was when they make their way into the like German bunker that's deserted, and an explosion goes off, and one of the main dudes is just covered in dust and is like pulled out of rubble, and then is just like coughing and spitting out dust and has it in his eyes, and his eyes are all like red and inflamed. Like that, like even just being the actor in that scene, I'm like, God, that must have sucked. I would have been pissed.
Oh yeah, for sure. Realistically, I'm a complete coward, so going over the first trench wall.
Leaving the bunker. The start of the movie. That's where I tap out. Like,
Right.
I don't want to be here. I'm done.
he flicks holy alcohol on you. He goes, and God bless you.
Yeah. Or I could just stay here. You could get somebody else.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe
I
I'll
wonder-
get to it.
What do you think? What do you think they even used for the dust? I was watching it and I was like, I wonder if this is graham cracker crumbs, because I'm like, how is it not? How is he not dying? You know?
Yeah. I mean, well, like whatever it is, too. You see him, the stuff that's in his mouth, like it becomes like sludge. Like it is some material that is absorbing all the like moisture in his mouth, and then he's like having a. Oh God, it was disgusting.
Brutal. I wouldn't make it. I don't think I'd make it. I'm sorry to the second Devers. I'm not going to get there.
Yeah.
I won't.
Sorry to those like hundreds of soldiers that will die because in the trap, but
I'm like kissing my brother goodbye. I go, no. Bye. I'm like, good luck, babe. Like, hope you're in the last wave so that you know what a shit show like this is.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because I didn't even from all of my studies too, and I'm talking school. I didn't even realize how many. I forgot how many people died in the First World War, which is 20 million people, I think, and then 21 million casualties. Or I'm sorry, injuries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. That's what Google told me.
It was
Isn't that
supposed. It's
crazy?
like they called it like the war to end all wars or something, right? Like the Great War. Like they.
Little did they know.
Yeah.
World War II
Another
was like
one.
hold my beer. Yeah. It was brutal.
20
Absolutely
million,
brutal.
huh? All
And then
right,
hopefully,
we'll see.
hopefully after that they were like, okay, maybe not. Maybe a little too far. A little too far with the second one.
This one's pretty bad. I know. Even I think like it's so wild because like the stakes were so high. The stakes in this movie were so high, but the stakes during both of those wars, like literally so high, like you couldn't fail. But that wasn't just like, I mean, that might have been Tuesday, but that's also Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like it's every day. Like it's like, when do you sleep? I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. Something I was thinking too while watching it was like, okay, so this takes place in 1917, the titular year. It's been over 100 years since then. Do we think like 30, 40 years from now, are we still going to be seeing like World War II, World War I movies? Or will it eventually just kind of like fade away?
I think we'll keep seeing them. As long as we don't enter a new world war, I think we will continue to see them just because it was a huge,
such a
thing
momentous
that
occasion
happened with people of American descent and our allies.
Yeah.
We're not. I mean, we're doing smaller things now that are pretty important as well, but nothing quite at the scale of World War I and II. So I think it's still going to be entertaining forever. I don't know.
Yeah, the human condition in war, I don't think we'll ever cease to be intrigued by that.
Yeah.
So stop the World War I erasure, CJ. Stop.
Never
With these
happened.
questions.
Made up.
Yeah, despite what CJ says, it happened.
Nah, fake.
It's disgusting.
I do think it's sort of interesting too of like World War I and World War II movies, like the soundtrack, big orchestra flares and timpani drums and all that. And then like Vietnam War movies, it's like starts out with some Rolling Stones and like CCR and stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, kind of a different mood we're setting, but okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Seriously.
everyone's so jaded by all the world wars at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta be honest in regards to the soundtrack of this film. I have to be honest, as if I was about to like tell
You've
a
been
lie.
lying this
Like,
whole
Please
time?
don't lie to us. Yeah.
I'm like, wait. I didn't like this movie. What am I saying? Thomas Newman has done it again. He really went off with this soundtrack. I thought the score. I'm literally like, Thomas Newman, you got a friend in me. Like 1917. I work to the soundtrack. I like listen to the soundtrack at work, and it makes me like work
wow.
faster.
Wow.
Yeah, if I want to crank through emails, I go to like when he's like running through the abandoned city or whatever sequence that is. Like
Oh God.
I
Oh
go
my
to
God.
that, and I'm like, ra, 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 ra. I'm like pounding.
I think the only situation I would ever listen to this soundtrack in is if the coffee didn't give me enough anxiety in the morning. Then I would put it on and just start sweating.
Yeah,
So,
be on edge.
yeah.
That, by the way, that scene, my favorite part of the movie. He's running through this like rubble town at night, and there's flares going off. And so the only light we get is every few seconds when a flare is in the sky. I was like, holy shit. Like that's where it hit me. I was like, this is
So cool.
This is cinema. This is so cool.
Yes.
You go, this is war.
Yeah. This
That's
is war, baby.
war. Yeah, it was unreal. Yeah, the lighting in that, and when he's like,
So cool.
like right before he's like running to the bridge where he's gonna jump off. The blue, I notice something new every time I watch this movie. The blue hues of like the early morning meeting, like the fire of the city, like on the walls. If you didn't clock it, go back and watch. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like it's so beautiful and like it's freaking hell, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh my god, this is nuts.
Yeah, just like the set design of this entire movie is like, oh, this is so beautiful to look at.
When I was researching trivia for later, one of the things that I couldn't make into a question was those flares that they were shooting off were actually just lights that they had on like rope and pulleys that they would drag across the set so that they could get it the exact timing they wanted and
arc and
highlight the
everything.
different areas specifically when they wanted. And it
Smart.
was all thought out. It was all planned, and it obviously worked amazingly.
Yeah. You know, this brings to mind a question. So as an actor myself, I always like to feel. This sounds so just like, oh, I'm in the industry.
Tread the boards.
Not really. I'm like watching it. Pass me by. But I'm always like, okay, what minor character? Like, what is the most minor character that I would want to play in this film and in whatever film I'm watching? And sometimes I do inanimate objects. So
That's right.
I've picked an inanimate object and a minor character that I would be in this movie, and I want you both to guess.
Oh wow!
Guess who and what. Two different things.
All right. The inanimate object is the main dude's canteen.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just think that'd be interesting because it was featured a lot.
It really was.
Lance Corporal Schofield.
Yes.
Okay, CJ, what do you think?
Inanimate object, barbed wire that cuts his hand at the way beginning. Got him.
Okay.
Got him. No, I'm actually, and this is sad, I'm the cherry blossoms.
Nice.
Cherry blossoms in the river.
Wow, in the river of corpses.
In the river.
I'm like the beauty before the nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to crawl over like 20 floating dead bodies.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
The bloated, yeah, I don't want to disrespect the dead, but the bloated dead bodies were truly just
Ugly. Some ugly looking motherfuckers.
Gross. Really gross. So what?
Okay.
What minor character?
Minor character.
Okay, you both have to guess. I'm holding your feet to the fire. The fire of the burning shirt.
Okay, can I ask a question? Is this a speaking role?
Yes.
The little French baby.
Hesitant.
Yeah!
Is that right?
Yes.
I got it.
Yes. I would be the French bébé.
A wee petite baby.
I was like, see, Ken's like, speaking role? I go, yeah.
Right.
I could tell it was some sort of trick question because you were very hesitant to answer that.
Yeah, I just think I do one scene. I grab the audience by the neck. I say, "Look at the horrors of war," and then I drink my milk. I drink my unpasteurized. Actually, the only thing scarier than this journey that they go on is going on this journey and drinking pasteurized milk and shitting your brains out. In addition to the horrors.
Yeah, just finding a pail of just milk just out there and deciding this is probably okay to drink.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, what was he thinking? Yeah. What was he thinking?
Just some hot milk in a bucket.
Just some hot
Cow's
milk
dead
in a.
too. So how long has that been there? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Gross.
I know. I wonder if it was warm. It must have been warm.
It had to have been warm. Yeah.
Just sitting out there, flies buzzing around.
Oh. The viewers are all like currently listening. The listeners are all like, okay, next. Like they're like skipping ahead. They're like,
Okay, no
Please
more
don't
milk
talk
talk.
about
This is
the milk
gross.
anymore.
Let's go back to the floating corpses. That's a better.
No, let's not. So to touch on something we talked about a little bit earlier was the fact that this is probably someone's actual job in World War I to run messages.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, he finally, spoiler alert, does deliver the message. Woo! Only a smidge too late, which is okay. And then basically the main dude's like, fuck off. And he gets like one good job and then that's it. And then this dude probably is like now a part of this battalion and then is just going to have to keep doing this for the rest of the war. Like it's just one day, but that was like hell enough for a lifetime.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's wild. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very thankless job.
So he gets sort of the end of the movie. He meets up with his best friend's like brother, has to give the terrible news that he died. And then just kind of like the brother is like, hey, like go get yourself patched up and get some food. Like you've been through hell. And he's like, okay, yeah, cool. And then just starts drifting out into pasture and finds a tree and sits down there, which like, I get that probably at the end of all that, you would just want to like lay down wherever you're at. But also,
you need to
maybe
be
like get patched up and eat some food or like sleep on a cot or something. Like, I don't know that would have been my move, to just be like slowly kind of drift out where no one can then see you in case you do pass out and into a coma or something.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty beat up, but at the same time, like the mental toll that he must have taken to get there, and then still not quite get there in time, but enough to save some people. Like, I don't know. I would need a beat to just like process before I can go take care of myself.
I would have just collapsed where I stood. Like, if finally to be like, okay, I did all the things. I'm just gonna lay down here. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah,
sure.
I'd be pissed to be one of those soldiers that like went over in the first wave, like got wounded and then heard that the attack was not supposed to happen. I'd be like
immediately off.
I go, that's it, carry me out. Like, I'm done. But absolutely brutal. Yeah.
Really not funny, but
no.
God, awful.
Well, one question I had for the both of you. So towards the end, so he's so close to getting the message to the general or whatever title he had, and he decides, okay, I can't go through the trench because there's all these bodies here. It'll take me forever. So I'm going to go out into the active war zone and run across the top of the trench and like full on sprint to get there quicker. Mm-hmm. As these troops are coming out of the trench and going into war, he then trips like twice and the camera kind of keeps zooming by. Do we think that was on purpose? Judging by the camera's behavior, I don't think so.
No.
Those both of those were accidental, but everyone was told no matter what, just keep going until Sam Mendes says stop. So yeah, the second time he got hit, he did a perfect barrel roll and it got back up right away. It's pretty cool.
Oh my God, yeah. I'd get decked, and I'm like, well, I'm staying down.
What the fuck? I'm trying to help you all.
I know. It was also such a shock that the person he has to deliver the message to is none other than Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Benedict Cumberbatch. I was like, what's he doing here?
Dr. Strange?
Dr. Strange?
And Colin Firth at the beginning, too, is the other general. Yeah. Pretty wild that they got these big people in very small roles, effectively.
Colin Firth of the King's Speech and Nanny McPhee.
Never seen either of those.
You haven't seen the King's Speech? That's another Oscar winner, isn't it? Pretty sure.
An Oscar winner. Yeah. Are we watching tonight? Are we watching the Oscars?
No.
We have not watched in several years.
Yeah. Really?
I will watch whoever slaps Chris Rock this year, and that's going to be it. So.
Is he coming back? Actually, is that good? Is he coming back?
I don't know.
No. Chris Rock might, but Will Smith, I'm sure, is not.
No, I don't think so. Okay, never mind.
Have there been what Oscar movies have you been watching, or are you like hoping wins?
Oh man, all of them. I've been watching all of them.
What's up for best movie? I mean, everyone's gonna listen to this and already know who won, but
Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I think will probably win, and is
good.
My favorite movie. I know, so good.
But what about Top Gun Maverick? That's up for best picture, apparently.
No, that was a great movie. But no,
I'm ready for my sparkler send off. I know. Yeah, Top Gun Maverick. It brought back movies, though.
Oh my God, Avatar's up for best picture too. Are you kidding?
That was insane.
Yeah, of course it is. I haven't seen that yet.
I still want to see Tar.
I just watched that the other day.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. It's an interesting ride they take you on.
It's so wild that they made a whole movie about repaving a parking lot. Tar.
I know.
That's so wild. I hear Kate Blanchett is revolutionary as the parking lot paver.
I know. She just really melts into that role. It's crazy.
Bravo, you too.
There's another movie that kind of fits the 1917 theme, All Quiet on the Western Front. Have either of you seen this one?
Nope.
No. But
okay.
That movie is actually pro-war, which I think is a little surprising.
Pro-war?
No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine?
I'm wondering how you even do that. But,
They're like,
It was financed by Big War, trying to push their message.
the government, U.S. Army.
Big steel. Barbed wire. This,
Big
yeah.
barbed wire.
Big barbed
Big
wire.
barbed wire. I know.
Watch out.
I was like trying to think if anybody watched 1917 and took away that war is good. I'd really love to pick their brain.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, they're like, well,
This is how it should be all the
beautiful.
time. Wow.
Providing
I
so
know,
many
I'm
jobs.
I'm in a cafe with them. I go, please don't say another word. Stop. That's bad.
It's bad.
This dude just hates cows and dogs. He's just like, oh, yeah, this movie rocks.
And planes.
Oh my God, the
planes.
dead dog. That's so sad.
Yeah.
I go, was that a dead dog? It was.
And then a little bit later, they're on the truck, and yeah. Oh, wait, was that what you're referring to? That one guy's like, oh, is that a dead dog? Just
Yes.
calls it back. I thought that was comic relief. I wasn't sure, but it was funny.
Is that a dead dog? Well, yeah, that's a dead dog. What about the dead human? Huh?
Oh, so we're
about the dead
prioritizing animals over human beings? Okay, is that where we're at?
How
Big
shocking.
Dog is pushing that message.
Oh my
Out of
God.
my
And did you see
America.
the dog in the trenches? What is he doing there? What's he doing there?
Taking jobs from human beings.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it leads to the bigger point of like, what are any of them doing there? Know what I mean?
Children.
Boys.
Yeah.
These are
Oh,
boys, not
boys.
men.
These are boys, not men.
Neither boys to men.
These are boys.
Well, they will be
too.
men after this. You know.
They will be men. They'll be scarred after this. I was watching with my friend, and he was like, no wonder they're all calling for like their moms. Like they're truly boys. Like they're adolescent youth. And I was like, oh my God, I never even thought about that. Like of course, we've seen grown men call for their mothers as well. Nothing wrong with that. The patriarchy would have you think that something is wrong with that, but it's not. It's perfectly natural. Like me mere minutes before, I'm like scream. I'm like mom. I'm like
As the
screaming,
French
like,
baby.
As the French.
Maman, oui, la boulangerie, non cigarette.
Omelette
Maman,
du fromage.
omelette du fromage, croque monsieur.
I start singing. I'm like,
One day more, another day, another destiny.
I'm still like the little French baby,
Smoking a cigarette.
smoking a little
They're
cigarette.
born that way.
Sucking on a ciggy.
They're born that way. Yeah, really bad. Really just, brutal. Just boys. If I want anybody to take anything away from this podcast listening, not even the movie, just this listening, it's this. They were boys. They're boys.
All
They're
right.
boys.
They were boys.
Little baby
All right, well,
boys.
I got some other things that people might be able to take away from this podcast. Y'all want to do some trivia?
Yes.
Because it's time for... Hey, did you do that? Yeah, that means it's time to pit our guests and CJ head-to-head to see who knows the most about what we watched. CJ, Ryan, are you two ready?
I was born ready.
Ready and afraid.
Okay. First question. We already talked about this a little bit, but despite being presented as one continuous shot, how long was it? Was not, obviously. And how long was the longest single continuous shot in the movie?
I wouldn't say obviously. I think they did a pretty good job of trying to make it seem like.
Well, in one part there, it is obvious. Like there's a time jump. We didn't even talk about that. At one point, the dude gets knocked out, and it clearly is like nighttime when he wakes up. But
They just keep the camera on George McKay. They're just like, okay, we gotta wait till it's dark.
yeah,
Cut out all the footage of him napping.
Oh my God. How long was the longest continuous shot?
Yeah, they did a really good job. My mind immediately went to like 20 or 30 minutes, but that seems impossible. But it looked like it. I don't know. I'll say 20 minutes. I don't know.
okay, Ryan.
That's good, CJ. That's all well and fine. But I think I'm gonna do 15 minutes.
All right.
But both are very optimistic for what is possible with a huge movie like this. But good on you for thinking the editing is that tight, which it is. Anyway, 8.5 minutes is the correct answer, which is still pretty long.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really wild.
How long was the shortest?
They're doing some serious war scene, and like one of the actors breaks. They just like start laughing, and it's like, what are you talking about? They're like, okay, cut. I'll say a minute.
30 seconds.
39 seconds.
Do I get a point for that? I'm under?
Yeah, so you both get 1 point, I believe.
Okay.
Woo! Good. That's wild. I guess I fell into the magic of the movie, and that's where my 15-minute long shot came from.
Yeah, shame on me for suspending my disbelief and enjoying the experience.
I was very curious because I knew this was not all one shot when I was watching it because that's kind of impossible. But I was looking for places like where they could cut, and I don't know, I couldn't catch any. But I'm sure at some point they like went behind someone's back and it turned dark for a second, and so that's probably how they did it. But
yeah. I caught one where I was like, okay, I think they cut there because the only thing in the shot was like dirt and sky, and it makes you think that you're like coming around this dirt hill. But in my mind, it was like, oh, they could have just had something that is spinning, but the camera isn't moving to like make that effect.
Oh, interesting. Oh my God. Everyone's, it's like that TikTok song. Everyone's so creative. Like how they do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
I tried to find how many actual cuts there were in the movie, and I couldn't find an actual number, but it was like 40s or 50s for the number of like actual individual.
There for sure is some YouTuber out there that has pinpointed every single one.
I'm sure.
And we'll walk you through a 2-hour YouTube video of where everything is.
I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. I got to know. I do.
Yeah. So next question. How long did it take the actors to rehearse before shooting began?
Probably wanted to have that really down. Months? 2 months? I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 6 months.
6 months is exactly correct.
Whoa!
Half a year.
I'm familiar with the craft. I know what goes into
right.
it.
That's right. Yeah, you get the inside knowledge. So
Yeah, it looked like that. It looked like 6 months of rehearsal. No, admittedly, mine was just a guess. So, wow.
But yeah, pretty cool.
I wonder, like, they're also rehearsing, like, where the camera will be and, like, what. Like,
Probably.
do you think that's part of it? Okay.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Like the lighting and all of that stuff.
You've got to
too.
like land where you're standing so the shot works and all that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I imagine it's got to be decently precise.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I said your mark is with the dead horse in ditch 4.
So I thought you said 3. Oh, my bad.
George,
So many dead horses
I'll have
around
your
here,
head.
dude.
Yeah.
Damn it, Sam.
George, don't drink the milk.
It's prop milk, George. Don't actually.
milk.
Prop milk. That's wax. It's wax.
Just hot wax.
Yeah. He's acting like it's cool. Like he's just like, wow. And it's like burning him.
George, don't forget, it's not milk. Don't feed that to the baby. No, it's not.
Like they're like, and Ryan, like, yeah, I'm like,
Oh, petite moi.
like,
Cigarette.
Cigarette. Give me my wax.
Yeah.
okay, I'm beating your ass.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Go. Let's
Well,
go.
let's see if you know this next one. And Ryan, you might. So, CJ, you're going to need to answer first.
Okay.
Is this a real story?
Ooh. They say there's like a thank you card at the end. I'm going to say yes. I'm sure they took like little liberties here and there, but I think overall, I think so.
Okay. Ryan?
The answer is yes. It is a true story.
Maybe I left this a little too open to interpretation because I wrote no, it's not a true story. It was inspired by director Sam Mendes's grandfather's World War I experiences, but he didn't like all of the things that happened in this movie didn't actually happen. He was a runner, like he delivered messages and had some harrowing experiences, but none of really the ones that were in this movie. and also like the whole brother plot and stuff like that.
Fake.
So
It's fake.
I said no. I'm going to say no.
Darn.
What even is the story?
Yeah, be prepared for
What
the
even is the
backlash, Ken,
story
is all
then?
I'll say. Is, if you're ready for those comments. I don't...
Sure. Come at
Fine,
me.
Ken. The story might not be real, but the emotions were. The emotions
That's
of fear and fright. It was.
My feelings are
Yeah.
valid.
Yes.
Sorry. So I guess I'm still. CK, I'm still. Well, I guess we both got a point. Okay. Well, no, we didn't because we both lost it.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't matter, but yeah. All right. Next question. This film won 3 Academy Awards in 2020. Name which categories it won the awards in. Good luck.
3?
And if you get like the naming of some of these categories are like kind of specific, so if you get close, I'll give you the point.
Best Picture, Best Actor, something with like cinematography. Is that one?
Okay.
Okay.
That's
okay.
close enough for me to get an idea of
Okay, thank
a
you.
category, so that's fine. Ryan, what are your 3?
Okay. Cinematography, I know because I just watched his speech. It was unremarkable, but it's still a good watch. Also, Roger Deakins is taking on all of these year movies. He did 2049 Blade Runner 2049 too.
Oh wow.
And so, so I'm like, what is it, Deakins, with the years? You're so obsessed. It's crazy. Okay, cinematography. I would guess sound design. And I'm gonna guess score.
Okay, so here's the actual ones. Best achievement in cinematography, you both got that one.
Okay.
Period.
Best achievement in sound mixing, close enough, Ryan, you got that one too. And then best achievement in visual effects, which neither of you got, but
okay.
I wouldn't have even thought that was a category. So
Score.
yeah.
Score can be visual.
Score cannot be visual. I do not think so.
Have you ever read music, Ken?
Yeah, but it's not displayed on the screen for me
You
when I
need
was
to
watching
see
the movie.
it to read it.
It's not, but you can definitely picture those staccato notes going through your head.
Sure.
Visual effects.
All right.
Sorry.
Speaking of score, the new score, Ryan is still up 4-2.
Okay. Next question. Including that Academy Award, how many awards did the cinematographer win for this movie alone?
Like across the
Across the board of every award you could possibly win, how many awards did he win, including that Academy Award?
4.
Okay.
I'm literally like, did you see the movie?
20.
20. I was gonna say 20. I'll guess 17.
17's closer, but it was 40.
I didn't
Oh
know there
my
were that
God.
many categories, like things you could win. Jesus.
Not at the Academy Awards, just awards in general. Maybe I didn't word that correctly.
Oh, gotcha.
But,
I mean, I still would not have guessed 40. That's
yeah,
crazy.
That's wild.
You got the BAFTAs. They had probably the BAFTAs in the bag.
that's
They
right.
probably had the BAFTAs all over the place.
Does Ryan
They're
get
all-
that point for being closer?
Yeah, he gets the point. Yeah.
I'm like 23 away, and I'm like, yeah,
Nailed it.
I got it right. I know. I would also real quick. I would not be a good shot, like with my gun.
Oh, yeah.
A marksman?
Yeah, I would not. I'd be like firing at the guy in the tower. I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, I would not. As near certain, I would not even make it up those stairs because I'd be like, no, I'm not going to go. Sorry.
It's
Okay.
all muddy. I don't want to get in there.
Yeah, I
Ugh,
don't wanna-
gross.
No.
I hate to say it, I definitely would be a stickler for mud getting everywhere.
Yeah.
I really do. It's awful.
I was thinking about that, like in the beginning when they're walking through no man's land, there's like puddles everywhere, and they're making no effort to avoid the puddles. And I was just thinking, like, well, maybe I would step around that one. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know. So-
Doesn't seem that out of the way to take
My
a couple
wet-
steps.
My wet and wild spring of 1917.
the original title, which they changed,
Yeah.
shortened it.
I go.
Spring
They,
break!
like-
woo!
They see me standing in no man's land. And I'm like, boys, hello, boys.
Who's up for some mud wrestling?
Who wants? I'm like holding up a slip and slide. I'm like, come on.
Where'd you get a
No.
kiddie pool from?
I'm like, Lance Corporal. Lance Corporal. Man. I traded my biscuit for
the bread.
a pool. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
All
Also,
right.
not a joking matter, this movie. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not. I also apologize to anyone who is maybe offended of us making light of a very serious situation. This is just how we deal with things.
Trauma.
So, trauma.
You
It's
gotta
also
laugh.
a movie for entertainment. So, I don't know.
This is coming back in 10 years. This episode is coming back in 10 years, and it's coming for all three of us. And
Yeah.
I'm going to say, when it does, I'm going to say, yes, it should.
Look, if this increases listenership,
Yeah,
right?
the
like,
controversy around this. Yeah.
Yeah. Any press is good press, except probably not.
I
Last
love
question. Let's
this
get out.
movie.
Let's get out of this.
I
Last
love
question.
this movie.
What is the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter score in percentage closest without going over? CJ, since you're losing, you go first.
What?
No, you go last.
Yeah.
Ryan goes first.
I guess 83% fresh.
Okay.
I'm thinking higher, so I will go 84.
84 is closer. You get the point, CJ, but it's actually 89%. Yeah.
I thought it was
Oh my
going to
God.
break 90, to be honest, but had to play it
What
smart.
do the points look like at this point?
Oh, Ryan won, for sure.
For sure? Okay. Yeah. Ryan, you're our winner. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Thank you. I'd like to thank my mother and my father. I'd like to thank everybody that made this possible. Roger Deacon, Sam Mendes.
Hot
Is it
milk,
Mendes or
cigarettes.
Mendes? Hot milk,
I don't know. I've been
cigarettes.
saying Sam Mendes.
Isn't that the musician?
Is that someone
Shawn
else?
Mendes.
Maybe it's both.
Shawn Mendes.
Is that the same person?
No,
Multi-talented?
Oh, Shawn Mendes.
No.
Yeah, Ryan's right.
no, guys.
Shawn
No,
Mendes,
I'm like, don't
Wrong.
spit on my boy's good name. Yeah.
Don't drag him into this conversation. What do you guys think the audience score was on Rotten Tomatoes? Just for fun.
Oh,
Probably around the same, like a 90?
I'd say 95.
Yeah, 88%. So around the same. Yeah.
No, well,
What is with people?
they suck, for one.
They do. They do.
Well, let's see what we all would give this. So it's time for ratings. It seems so much longer than without hearing it. Anyway, Ryan, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate 1917 for you?
I mean, I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him for 10. I thought it's so good.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's so good. From the details to the storytelling, it's amazing, and it's stressful to watch, and it's really, really just well done. And I also think like detailed stuff, like they fire the flare, you see the flare go off in the distance. Like it's just so detailed,
Mm-hmm.
like just beautiful and impactful. So I gotta say 10 out of 10. Yeah, really good. I'm an easy critic. Here I am. But I mean, this movie really knocked it out of the park.
Nice.
How about you
All right,
guys? Enough
CJ,
about me.
lay into it. Well, what would you give it, Siege?
I'm not laying into it. This was a cinematic masterpiece. This is getting a 9. I had a great time. I really was invested. I enjoyed my time. I wasn't on my phone. It's a great way to spend an afternoon. Yeah.
What's holding it back for you for the perfect 10?
I mean, honestly, the dust part, him spitting up and getting in his eyes.
Just too uncomfortable to watch? or-
Yeah, it's gross. Yucky.
Okay.
I don't know.
What
Yeah.
about the horrors of war?
Yeah. Just the horrors. Dock it down a point. They needed more French babies. I think that's what's really holding me back.
Okay.
Kat, how about you?
For me, yeah, I mean, you both said it. It's a cinematic masterpiece. And I'm not usually a big war film guy, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, because every time I do sit down and watch like a good war movie, which I mean, maybe is the only time I'm watching them, so maybe that's why I'm liking. But I do like them then. So, but yeah, I mean, just alone for the way that this movie is shot and spliced together to be in real time in one continuous shot for the entire movie is enough for me to give it a full 10 out of 10. 'Cause
Wow.
that is in the
wow.
It was incredible to watch. And then even beyond that, the story is really engaging. Like, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It's so stressful. Really just an awesome story, awesome journey. I'm for sure going to watch this again at some point. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Amazing. That's a 29 out of 30. That's an A.
That's a great score.
An A plus.
That might be making the end of year list.
I think it will.
Whoa. Oh my God. I did that.
Unless we get a bunch of full 10 out of 10s.
Yeah. Comeback story of the century. Guest Ryan coming on with going from Aquamarine to this.
What did we all rate Aquamarine?
I think I give it a 12 talking starfish out of 10.
That's probably right. That
sounds
exactly
right, actually. He was so close. Yeah, Ryan gave it an 11.5.
Okay.
I gave it a 4, and Ken gave it a 3.
So yeah, I guess war over fish. I don't know.
Yeah, we're all
I'm like-
pro-war.
I go,
Yeah.
just wait for my next movie, Battle of the Deep. Like, it's like I merge
Ooh.
war and fish. I don't know. That's not even a real movie, but you know.
Should be.
Anyway,
Hollywood,
it
if
should
you're
be.
listening.
Yeah.
How
Hollywood, if you're
let
listening,
us.
make more real-time, one-shot looking movies because it's awesome. Please.
Birdman. Have you seen that one? That one's fun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Unsettling,
Yeah.
I would say.
Unsettling. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
man.
weird ones.
Stressful to watch. This movie's crazy. This movie really is just all over the place. It's unreal.
Great pick.
Yeah, very good. Thank you for choosing it. And thank you for
Yo,
coming
you guys.
on, Ryan.
Oh my God, boys, the pleasure has been all mine.
Do you have anything you want to plug at the end here?
And this episode is coming out this Wednesday, March 15th.
Perfect. Everything that I have is before March 15th. So no, yeah. Well, can I just say, always a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for inviting me back.
course. Thank you.
Yes, I'm gonna plug my 2 improv teams at Whimsy Lohan Improv. It's WHIMSY instead of Lindsay Lohan. This is now the second improv team where we've made a reference to Lindsay Lohan. This isn't me. I don't know why this keeps happening. But that's sort of, what's going on. And we have shows coming up. Follow our Instagram. Most of them are in April. And my other team, Firm but Fair, has a one night only show coming up March 24th at the Corn Conservatory. Tickets are $12, 10 p.m. BYOB. It's a real fun time. We've done the show it's one night only, but we've done it before. But we don't have to tell anybody that. But really fun show, improv, comedy, stand-up, maybe kissing. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh.
I know your audience. They love.
That's right. They're a bunch of freaks.
They're a bunch of freaks. Kinky lovers. Okay. They so that's coming up too. So yeah. But thank you again for having me on. It's always a pleasure, and I'm glad I finally chose a winner.
Hey, so are we.
Yes.
A winner in your eyes. The other
Yeah.
films were both winners in mine.
Fair, yeah.
Sure. All subjective. Well, thank you again. CJ, what do we have to plug?
You can follow us on all the things at Overtalking Pod. Email us like actor Wayne Knight did at overtalkingpod@gmail.com. Call or text us at USACat1591. Go to our website, overtalkingpod.party. Type in the word Ryan to find his previous episodes. They all are fantastic.
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you guys.
Oh no. They're here. The Overtalking Overlords have arrived. They are, of course, for new listeners, there are ghastly, otherworldly landlords who show up at the end of every episode to remind me to remind you. If you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and rate and review. Reviews are what help people find this podcast. Also, we spend no money in advertising. So if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, that's fast. Ow.
5 years,
All one
baby.
take, just like this movie. Yeah.
Oh, one take. Eat your heart out, Roger Deakins.
That's right. And as we always say,
We petite baby.
we petite.
Baby.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Ken and CJ, edited by CJ. This week's special guest was Ryan Hultman. Music by Justin Peters. Logo by Nate Richards. Check out Nate's work on Instagram at Nate Richards Designs.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. Bless you. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to call attention to your cough. Wait, I also I like literally like making it a plot point. I'm like, very true, CJ. They were sick in this movie too. And we're clear.
Yeah. Cough break.
We're out.
Appreciate the empathy, right?
Yeah. Hanging in there with us.
If the boys are sick, I'm sick too, you know.